welcome to the Utah Puck Report. I'm your host, Jay Stevens. We're still here doing it. We're getting to know our NHL players. And today, a very special guest, Alex Kerfoot. Alex, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Jay. Excited to be here.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you. I've got to see you play for a while, and when I was an equipment rep, you were at Harvard, which I want to talk to you about. But anyway, I got to see you play a little bit back in the day, and I think you're a Vancouver kid, right?
Yeah.
I think at some point, do you remember wearing a glove called a Sandy glove, from Vancouver? Did you ever wear those?
I don't remember that. No.
Okay, all right, I might be wrong. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Kind of introduce yourself to this. These podcasts just go to hockey players.
Yeah.
So this is the Utah hockey audience right here, and kind of tell us what your role is going to be on the team, and a little bit about how growing up and where you're from and stuff.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm from Vancouver, Canada, as you mentioned. I've this is my second year with the team. I signed in Arizona as a free agent at the beginning of last season, and then obviously getting moved here. A lot's happened in the last year. I got married a year ago. We recently had a baby, 3-month-old little girl now. So moving the family out here, and we're just super excited to be out here. This is my 8th season in the league now, full time, and I played college hockey at Harvard before that, as you mentioned. So it feels like I've been around for a while now. I still feel young, but seeing some of the guys now, obviously I've gotten a little bit older, and just really excited about the team and where the team's headed, and being able to come to a market like this and play in front of the Utah hockey fans is going to be a lot of fun.
It's one of those weird things about being in the NHL, and you're like, okay, I'm 27 or whatever, and now you're a vet. And now you're the guy. You still feel like you're still young. In reality, you're still young, but you've been in the league for a long time, and now you're the person that people go to for advice and stuff. How does that feel?
Yeah, I think it happens pretty quickly. Like you said, I still feel the same. I feel like I'm young, and it's funny. I was talking to some of the guys at the rink today, and I go home in the summer and I skate in Vancouver, and I've been going to the same skates for a while, and obviously the groups change every summer, and new guys come in and some guys leave, and it feels like my routine has stayed pretty similar, but all of a sudden the guys I'm skating with are 10 years younger than me, and I still in the locker room after skates or before skates, it still feels the same, and I still feel like we're the same age until I find out that they're born in 2005 or 2006, and I'm like, where did time go? How did this happen? But
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's we're super fortunate and lucky to be playing a game and playing hockey, and I think that I just want to continue to play as long as I can and keep trying to find ways to improve and help out.
As you were growing up, this is one of those things I've always wanted to talk to a Harvard guy about, because as you're growing up, you're coming out of juniors and out of Vancouver. Harvard wasn't your only offer, right? You probably had several offers.
Yeah.
Is it a little scary? Harvard's Harvard, and you want to go there because you're like, hey, if hockey doesn't work out, I have to have a degree from Harvard.
Yeah.
But it also, doesn't it maybe kind of get well, if I go to Harvard, maybe I won't go to the NHL? Is there any of that ever enters your mind?
Yeah, I think you're always talking about those things, and I'm lucky now that we signed Johnny Marino, so you can start asking him all the Harvard questions. But I think that my thought process going into that was it's all situational and it's different for everyone. I was making that decision as a young kid and wasn't really like a marquee prospect or super high draft pick or anything like that. So there was an element where I don't know how far hockey's going to take me at that time, and being able to get an education like that was super important. But at the same time, the NHL was always my dream. I was hoping to make it there. So it's not like I was choosing Harvard for the option of a backup plan. I was still choosing Harvard because I thought that was going to provide me the best opportunity to get to the NHL. And I think recently, if you look at who's come out of that program, they've done a great job of developing players. And Adam Fox coming out, Johnny Marino, VC, Colin Blackwell. There's a number of guys recently who've played in the NHL, and they keep pumping out prospects. And so for me at the time, I felt like it was a good developmental path, and I thought there was a little bit more of an opportunity for me to play right away as opposed to going to one of the marquee programs like a Boston College, Minnesota, something like that, where I might come in, not be able to get the same minutes, same opportunity. And at Harvard at the time, there was an opening where I could kind of play a lot right away.
So you just went in as a freshman and you're starting.
Yeah, type thing. And I mean, you obviously want that internal competition. You want to be able to fight for minutes, and we had a really good recruiting class, but did seem like there was a path to playing time earlier there for me.
Donato, your coach there?
Yeah, he was great.
It's got to be phenomenal to
Yeah, he's one of the best. I mean, just having him around practice every day was a ton of fun, and I mean, he's one of the best storytellers I know. So every time I get back and see him, it's always a good time. But he did a great job. He's continuing to do a really good job with that program.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the main reasons that you guys are pumping out so many NHL guys.
Yeah, they've done a great job recruiting. Obviously, the brand name of Harvard helps out, but they have their own issues. There's no scholarships. It's all financial aid there, and they have strict academic standards. So there's certain people who can't get in, but they've been doing a really good job building the program, and still tune in and try to follow them.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, and what a school to be an alumnus from. Like it's just.
Yeah, it's fun.
Was it something? Were you growing up thinking about Harvard? When did that actually come into play? And this will be my last question about Harvard.
Yeah. No, I think that like I was a really small kid growing up, so major junior is obviously a big deal in Western Canada where I grew up, and a lot of my friends were kind of going that path, and I was just too small, a little bit immature at the time, and wasn't ready to jump in as a 16-year-old into that. So the college hockey path gave me a little bit more time. I had a couple more years to kind of grow into my body, into I don't know, my game, and so that was a part of it. And then the education was important. My family always prioritized that. I was lucky that I had a younger brother who also went to Harvard, so I was able to play with him for a year. So that was a big part of it, and yeah, those were kind of the two biggest factors.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah,
I always think about it because my daughter went to West Point, and I was trying to kind of start trying to help West Point hockey a couple years ago. So I started getting some Utah recruits, and then I started, the ones that are getting recruited by everybody don't want to go there,
right?
Because they're like, I want to go somewhere that's going to be great. And then the ones that maybe aren't getting recruited by everybody but are good enough don't usually have the grades to get in, and they're super strict on all that stuff.
Yeah.
And even they were like, okay, you got accepted, but we want you to play juniors. But if you go play juniors, you might not get accepted the next time. So, yeah, pretty crazy. And then, you come out of college, you end up with the Avalanche.
Yeah.
And you go deep in the playoffs with them. And you play with the Leafs. You go deep in the playoffs with them. So you have this experience and this, we talked about, now you're a veteran leader. Like, what kind of a culture do you try to set in a locker room? Are you that guy that's trying to help, like I've been there, I know what it's like, follow me?
I mean, I think that everyone's bringing something to the table, especially with our team. There's not, you want lots of guys pulling in the right direction. I think what I've learned in being around some of these good teams, and especially just being around some of these star players, marquee players, you learn a lot in terms of day-to-day habits, what they do to kind of prepare their body and prepare their game on a day-to-day, on a night-to-night basis, I guess. And so I've learned a lot about that, try to help out in any way I can in that area. And then just, like you said, the margins are so thin between winning and losing right now in our league. There's so much parity that anyone can beat anyone on any given night, and it's just about kind of having that mindset that we are ready, that we're ready to push, that we're ready to kind of become a winning team, push for playoffs, not be satisfied with some of our results. And there's lots of guys that are on our team that are doing a really good job of that, and everyone knows that. But yeah, we all collectively want to create more of a winning culture, and we want to do it quickly.
So you're part of the whole drama as it unfolds last year.
Yeah.
You guys are playing. You're fighting for a playoff spot. The rumors start. The rumors get louder.
Yeah.
There's chaos around the team. Do you remember the first time you heard about the potential of moving to Utah?
Yeah. I mean, there's always like background rumors, right? Like I think that even before I signed in Arizona last summer, there were some rumors out there. There were rumors that maybe the team's not gonna last. Obviously, playing in a college rink, there's talk, and so you hear about that. But the first real stuff that we heard was right around when we started losing, and I think that we don't want to use that as a crutch or a reason why we lost 14 games in a row, right? Like you're not doing something right if you're losing 14 games in a row, and we definitely didn't lose all those games just because some rumors came out, right? I think that's just an easy narrative to buy into. It definitely impacted the team to some extent.
I've met a lot of the players so far, and I've listened to everybody talk, and I've listened to Bear talk, and you're just like, man, this group, like, I'm excited about it because it just seems like you guys have paid your dues and you're ready to put a lot of the distractions behind. Of course, there's going to be stuff that happens, injuries or whatever, but it seems like you guys are ready to just take off. Had you been to Utah before?
I've been once. I've been a couple times. We have a little dog too who's loving it here so far. So she's really excited about the opportunity, and we've come to learn that this business can be unpredictable at times, and we're super fortunate to be able to live these lives. But at the same time, we've become accustomed to the unpredictability, and we're just super happy to be in Utah right now and not really trying to think too far ahead and just enjoying it and trying to do our best to help the team and put a good product out there.
And for the most part, you can still golf year round.
There
are some places that are open year round.
Yeah.
Might be a little chilly. Yeah. It's not Arizona hot, but it's also not like North Dakota cold or even Vancouver cold.
Yeah.
All right. So I only have you for so long. One of the big questions is, what do you think of the team name?
The team name.
Are you ready? Do you have one? Do you have a favorite name yet? Does your wife have a favorite?
I think that. Well, what are the finalists right now?
So you have Yeti.
Yeah.
You have Mammoth. You have Venom.
Yeah.
You have Outlaws.
Okay.
Utah Hockey Club, and the Blizzard. I always forget the Blizzard.
I think my favorite is the Yeti.
Yeah.
But I think the Yeti's been getting the most play. So I think I've heard it the most. Lots of people are talking about it the most, and so that's kind of stuck with me right now.
Yeah, could be really cool. Kind of matches the colors.
Yeah.
The Mammoth would match the colors.
Mammoth would be good too. Yeah.
What do you want to say to the fans right now that are listening and trying to figure out what you're all about?
Yeah. Well, no, I've been just super thankful to be here. I hope that, this is the time of year where we start getting excited, right? Like we have the summer to kind of do our thing. You're training, you're working hard all off season to get to this point where we can come to Salt Lake, see the facilities, see the guys again. We start really getting excited. So we've got a lot of work to do over the next month and a bit to get ready for the season, but we just can't wait to see you out there and put on a good show at the Delta Center and really make a push to take a good step this year.
Awesome.
Yep.
Alex Kerfoot, thank you so much for being on the show. We're excited to see I thought you guys had a pretty good season last year. I did watch you a lot when you were with the Avalanche. Madison is my boss, our producer, is a huge Avalanche fan. So she's been waiting to meet you for a long time. She's known about you, and we're just all excited. We're so excited to see what happens next, and I cannot wait for game one. I was talking to Jeffrey about it the other day. How many times are you going to say season one?
No,
game one?
That's special. Like to be a part of something like that where, I don't know, whether it was a Seattle team or a Vegas team expansion type thing, there's just a different buzz that you feel around this right now. And so, this is something that we're going to look back on when we're done playing or in 10, 15 years and think that this is the first season for the Utah Hockey Club, and that's really cool to be a part of. And like you said, the team's going to be good. Like we're gonna make a push this year. We're going to be better than we were last year, and it's just about how big of a step can we make. You
thought about maybe you could be the guy that scores the first goal ever for the team?
You know what? That would be great. I would love that. But I would be happy with whoever scores.
Yeah. It's just going to be unreal, but that'll be the next trivia question, right? Who scored the first goal ever for this team?
Right. Yeah. We'll find out.
Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Well, Alex, thanks so much for being on the show.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you guys on October 8th at the Delta Center.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Jay.
All right, and that is the Utah Puck Report.